Guess what? It's 2020 and we are back. So I know you're looking at the cast right now. It's something a little different. Joaquin couldn't make it today. We miss you, brother, but we know that you're handling business. But instead of Joaquin, we brought in a very special guest. He goes by the name of Mr. James. James.
I think it's very important with criticism that you have to be aware of the source of the criticism, because there are a lot of people who will quote unquote give constructive criticism who haven't constructed anything.
Oh, okay.
Now that's a critical. Whoa. There are a lot of people, and so beware of the source. I'm not saying that. Somebody may say, "Well, I don't like the way you built that house or whatever." Well, have you built a house before? Do you know what it goes into, the foundation? Do you know what? Like, be careful of the source of the criticism. I will say that. Toxicity changes the energy in the room. It changes the temperature of the room. Like a toxic presence, even non-verbal presence. Some people can enter the room and it's not aligned with goodness. And so I would say, I don't know, I guess that would be like an adjective to describe it. I don't know if it's a definition, but yeah.
Okay.
White supremacy and racism are systems of power that deny the majority of us freedom, justice, proper education, the right to control our own ideas and thoughts. By default, like David Duke is a known white supremacist, right? But he doesn't have power. And so when we find a guy that is available to you, he's available and he's able to implement some of these practices that we believe, these ideals that you just spoke about. He's the most powerful man in the world. Yeah. And thus, you have people in other countries that are doing things in reference to his tweets. You have people that are shooting up, like they said, and like this is not a regular person. Like if you're a regular person, you're a white supremacist and you're just in your house and you work for UPS, cool. But you're the leader of the free world. Kind of piggyback to kind of what you said a little earlier as well, as far as, well, what I thought you were going to say is that this was the perfect storm for people to acknowledge what was going on, because there's no interruptions, there's no sports, there's no NBA finals, which I would love to be watching right now. There's no concerts going on. There's no schools in session. So the only thing you could focus on was the brutality, the extreme, excessive brutality of this cop, cavalierly killing this man. And that's the other. And another thing I'd like to mention, going into him and off Candace a little bit, what the quality and the texture of his murder, if I may, the quality of it was, Stephon Clark was shot in his back. He was, running away. He's 30 feet away. Even Amber Geiger, my man, was Botham John down in, Texas. He's shot. He's, a distance away. When there is somebody that's under you feel them breathing. Yeah. You feel them squirming. You hear audible sounds of him moaning. That's a different quality. You know what I'm saying? That the quality of that murder is far impactful, because you killing them slowly. There's a different.
He's not the first person that was asphyxiated. He's not the first person that died that way. He's not the first person to die that way at the hand of cops. They've been doing that. Like, I can't breathe. He wasn't the first person to say that.
But on camera, for the world, for the globe, because folks are marching in Ireland and Amsterdam and UK, like the world had not seen that level of brutality. Like we didn't, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think for that to be just on the news and on social media everywhere, I think that was as well, with no distractions, because everybody's in the house.
I want y'all to tell me.
Real keen on consistency in any relationship, like consistency and not wanting, and we just talked about being locked in. Like, I kind of look at love in a situation as a roller coaster. When that bar come down, it's me and you. Right? So we might hit some curves, we might go over, we might go under, but no matter what, we on the ride together. We can't get off Right. If we get off together.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the thing. So I expected to be some curves, it might be some difficulty, but I need consistency, and that's my
brother James.
Yes.
Let me reclaim my time.
But part of it is our forgiveness is directly related or connected to our survival. You know what I'm saying? If me and Blue out in the field and they hang Blue tonight, I gotta go back in the field at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I may have reservations, but my survival is dependent on me forgiving Massa.
We're
for
bred
hanging my
to forgive as well.
It's a mechanism that we've had to develop to exist and survive. Our forgiveness is directly related to our survival. These things always happen. Like during the Barack Obama's 8 years of service, there was Zika, there was SARS, there was MERS, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, there was Ebola, there was the swine flu. But we still wasn't outside.
But James,
you understand what I'm saying?
Why was that, James?
We were still outside because we had. We were still outside because we had an administration that cared, that gave a fucking fuck. We had an administration that had a transition team, a global pandemic office that was set up by Susan Rice and Barack Obama, right? They set up this global pandemic office because they're like, yo, these little organisms and things that are going around, we need to have intake space.
Number one, the lack of shame. Like shame doesn't even exist anymore. And that's the whole thing. Like you would feel ashamed, you know, if something, or if you participate in anything like that. So I think that part of it really, again, this gender neutrality thing, that's a new thing. A girl and a boy is the same thing. All this, and you can be who you want. Like, I think that is blurring the lines, and then we are allowing stuff like that to happen.
However, I do believe that it will be fully warranted if you really knew what I don't know if you guys seen the woman that it would be fully warranted. There's a woman that going around, she has like a 6-minute clip. It's an amazing, compelling clip. And she uses,
Kimberly Jones.
But she spoke about the Monopoly board.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Kimberly Jones.
She killed that. She killed
like that. I mean, when you really understand the magnitude of like playing Monopoly.
She's 100% right.
And going around the board, you're going around the board 400 times. Like 400 times you're playing. You don't get any money. You don't get to acquire any property. You just going around the board, and you're going, and everybody else gets, all the whites, they're making money, they're acquiring property 400 times around the board. And you're just, it is, I mean, and at the end, she said something about us just wanting for civil rights and be glad that it's just civil rights
that we want and not revenge.
And not revenge, man. I mean, because it will be fully warranted. Yeah. It will be fully warranted.
Well, they know that.
All night long, put your hands together. All night long, put your hands together. All night long, let it go, let it go. All night long, let it go, let it go, let it go. Come on and roll. It don't matter if you're young or old. Clap your hands and let the girl